We've done our bench work, and just like a pizza pie, we need some toppings on it. And we're going to talk about that today. And there's a lot of different toppings that we could put on it, but we're just going to talk about a few of them. Like, let me see, pepperoni and sausage and onion. Now, let's get serious here. We're going to talk about some plywood and a little bit about pink foam and some white foam. Since I live in Southwest Florida, it's kind of hard to get some of the items here, so I'm just going to talk about a few of them. So let's get started with it right now. I'm Tom Kvichak, and this is Tom's Trains and Things. This channel was created to help other modelers who are in need of guidance in pursuing their dream of building a model railroad. And we're going to talk about what to put up on top of that bench work that we were building before. And we're going to talk about some plywood, what to put on top of that plywood, some cork, some foam, and how to apply it. All right, before we get started, I just wanted to point out this little kit right over here. Let me get it for you. This is called Ghibli Furniture. You can see the little water tower on the back. Now, this looks really complicated, but actually it's not that complicated. And if you stick around with me for a while and keep following my videos, and I'll be assembling some kits in the future, and I'll be showing you how to build kits like this. And I left the roof off. I left it loose so you could see inside, and I put a little bit of detail in there. I'm not quite finished with it. I took some of the instructions and put it inside to make it look like that there's a bulletin board up there, and I got a little guy working inside there. I need a little bit more detail in there. But anyway, you get the idea. And I have a little bit of furniture on the inside. I don't know if you can see up inside there. But if you subscribe and continue watching, you will be able to follow and get instructions on how to build kits like this. And I will be showing you how to build this kit right here. This one is not as complex, but it's the Gravely building. It's by Bar Mills. It's similar construction. And that's all it is right here. And basically, this is all the components in here, and that's basically what that other kit was when I started. And it's very simple, and I'll show you how to do it. So go ahead and subscribe. And I have this one, and I have a bunch of other kits that I'll be doing in the near future. I have that one, and I have several other kits that I'll be putting together. Other than in these series of beginners, I'll be doing some side series of putting some kits together. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you could learn new techniques to build skills on building kits and doing other things. This piece of pink foam right here is the only size available in Southwest Florida, and it is $6. So this is not my choice of building material for my layout. So that is why I use plywood. And I do not use the white foam either, because it comes in 1/2 inch by, I think, 1 foot by 3 or 4 foot long, and only 4 pieces, and it's even more than that. And so I stick with plywood. So I haven't done anything with this yet. I have bought some cork at Home Depot, but now they insist on you buying the entire roll. Before, I used to be able to buy it by the foot, but now you have to buy the entire roll. Now, other places you may be able to still buy it by the foot, and I encourage you to go check it out, because that is a good buy, because I covered my entire layout with a roll of cork, 1/4 inch cork, and used that as the road bed instead of buying the little strips. I used the entire cork for my underlayment for my track instead of using the strips. Let's go back in time about 4.5 years to July 2012 to be exact. I'm going to walk you through the steps I took to build this section I'm standing in front of right now. This piece right here. I'm going to flash some photographs up here because I didn't take any videos back then, just a bunch of photographs. It's going to look a little bit different because everything was just wasn't painted, and I had some L girder bench work back here that I just started out, and I put some plywood on it, and I'm going to show you how I started this out. I did some plywood. I laid some plywood down. This is only 2 foot wide, and I had some cork that I bought from Home Depot. It was 1/4 inch underlayment for flooring, and I bought it by the foot, and I laid it out. And what I did was I laid out my track plan here, and what it was I had a 20-inch radius curve up on this end, and right about halfway down I had a number 5 turnout. The straight end went all the way down to the wall and curved around, and then the turnout part went down here and curved around and went in and serviced this part right here, which was an engine facility. The next few photographs I show you are mistakes that I made, and that's so you won't make the same mistakes. What I did on these was I went and cut the bevels on the cork before I went and laid the track. What I suggest you do is mark where your track is going to be, and then cut your cork about 1 inch on each side of where your ties are going to be. Okay, and then once you have that cut, lay your track down, and then make sure you have it in the place that you want to. Then you'll have some wiggle room on each side. Okay, then once you have your track in your permanent place, then go and cut your bevel on your cork for your ballast. Here's a few extra photos from back then when I was setting up the glue on the cork and testing out the track. And yes, I was still using DC back then. Hadn't progressed to DCC yet. Sorry about that. I'm holding the camera in hand right now, and if you're going to be doing a wide area like this where you have a lot of tracks, I suggest doing a large piece of plywood like this. Okay, but like over here where you have one track, I have one track going up an incline right here. Okay, so you just take a skinny piece of plywood and go up like there. And also back behind here, behind that flat is the same thing. I have one track going up, and I did the same thing back there. As you can see right here, this is just one piece of plywood that I cut out where I could lift this up to any level. And then this right over here, this is all cut out right here. And actually this piece right here was in a different area, and it was actually right down in here, and I took it out from over here and placed it up in here in this area. As you can see right here, these are all strips where the track comes around. And if we look at the same area from the opposite end, you can see it, all the pieces, all the plywood is cut to accommodate the track. Although I only have 2 tracks on this end, I cut my plywood a little bit wider so I could put buildings alongside the tracks. Along this circle, I cut the plywood to conform to the track, and the lower section is another piece of plywood. I don't know if you could really see this really good, but you could see the cork right here, but then underneath where this is ballasted, underneath there, you could see that that is the Woodland Scenics foam, and it matches up pretty closely. This area right here is going to be my waterfront, so what I did, I have my cork right here on my 1/2-inch plywood, and I tapered this down a little bit, and as you can see, I have my 1x2s right here, and I have my creek right here, and I cut it out. I changed this out a little bit, and this is a 1/4-inch plywood that I put on a table right here. I attached a table to the edge of my L girder, and I have it right here, so I'm going to have a little waterfront right here, and I'm going to have some rocks and have some buildings right here, right on the edge. So this is a good way to show a waterfront. Although there's a lot of different methods to use to cover the bench work, I only covered plywood because that's what I'm most familiar with, and that's what I've used all through my entire layout. Now, I'm going to use the pink foam on the area right where I have my attic access. I'm going to do that in a later episode. Okay, Woodland Scenics has their terrain system, and I'm going to have some links in the description where you could watch their videos for that. Homosote, I've used that in the 50s and 60s, and need I say more? It's something old, and I don't think I need to say anything else about that. Okay, what else is there? Okay, spline. Okay, that is very complicated, and this series is for beginners, and spline is something that is not for beginners, so I'm not even going to touch that. Okay, so plywood is the preferred method for beginners. What I'm going to do now is I have some pictures that I took when I first started my layout. As you can see from these pictures, it's just the bare bench work right here. And on the floor, you could see there's actually two pieces of plywood right there. You can't see it too good, but I have the framework for the leak and creek. It's actually the cookie cutter method that I'm using here, and you can see above there is where I'm standing right now, and I'm running my line all the way out to the wall, which you could see a little bit better coming up in this next photo right here, where I turn and come all the way around to the all the way up to the other wall. Now this one right here is the base for Leak and Creek. Now I have this on sitting on top of the L girder just because I need to slide it over top of the stairwell. And on this one here I have the N scale up on top of the HO. Coming up in these next couple of photos is a few months later when I finished the Leak and Creek section. You could see that I have them over top of the stairwell, and this one here is just a different angle of it, and you can see the N scale up on the top in the distance. You can see the forced perspective in it. And on this next one here, I started connecting a new section to it. The part on the right is the N scale track up against the wall, and this last photo right here is maybe 2 years later, a full view of the room before I tore down the wall. Now that you've seen everything that's underneath my layout, you can make your own decision on what to use for your own layout. Now there's many different items that you could use, and you make your own decision on what you want to use. You could look at any YouTube video, you could look at any magazine, you could look at any publication to see what best suits your needs. I'm just giving you what I use here because that's what suits me. But I'm going to show you the cork that I've used. Now, because I live in a townhouse, I don't have a lot of room to store things. So when I bought my cork, I didn't buy enough. So the first time I bought it, this is what I bought. Okay. And then when I went back, I was a little bit short. So I had to go back and get some more. And Home Depot stocked a different cork the second time. And this is what they stocked the second time. And you could see the difference in texture. This one right here is a lot better. The grain in it is a lot tighter, and this one actually crumbles a little bit more. It was actually the same price as this one here, but I preferred this one right here. So if you can find the cork, go and get the one that has the tighter grain in it. Now here's what Home Depot has. It had the 200-foot roll and the 100-square-foot roll. And as you can see, the 200-square-foot roll is a better price. Also, Loews only has the 100-square-foot roll. You can also check out other stores to see if they have comparable prices also. But if you wanted to check out other stores, go ahead and see what they have. If you don't need the whole 200 square foot or the 100 square foot, see if they will cut it into smaller sections for you. But anyway, I used the foam up against this cork where I showed you where I connected up into Leak and Creek, where I had multiple tracks. I had my main line and my siding. Well, I had this cork under the entire area, and on my main line, I put the black foam from Woodland Scenics to put the main line up higher than the rest of the track. So it would give it the appearance of the main line and the rest of the track down lower. But I don't have that box, but I'll show you the picture of that over right there. But anyway, that concludes this episode of the toppings. So, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You know why? Because it's free and you could learn a lot of stuff here. Because there's a lot to learn here, because it's for beginners, and not only for beginners, it's for the returning modelers who have been out of the hobby for a while like I have been. And go ahead and check my website out, because it's up live now. And I'm posting more pictures. I have a lot of pictures of how I built this, and I'm going to be putting those pictures up. I already have some pictures of the first month of how I built Leakin Creek. I'm going to be posting more pictures of Leakin Creek. I got so many pictures of that. And after I put those up, I'm going to put pictures up of me tearing down the wall right over here and me expanding over to Rockwood later on. So, leave a comment, because comments are always good. I like to read your comments. I respond to all your comments. And I want to thank everybody that's subscribed. I have just gone over 600 subscribers. I think right now I'm 618 or 19 subscribers the last I checked. And I really want to thank you very much for subscribing. It really means a lot to me. I don't have anything to give you except for my knowledge. I don't have any contests or anything like that. All I have is my knowledge to give you. So that's, I'm just going to continue to give you my knowledge. So continue to subscribe, and I'll give you everything that I have through my knowledge. And what else is there? Share the video, give me a thumbs up, and let me see, where is that stuff over here? You know, we'll put those little thing right there with my little circle up there, and we'll put some little videos over here, and then one over here, and we'll see ya. Take care.